I just did an exhaust valve delete on my Genesis G70 by simply unplugging the wiring harnesses that activate the valves. And as you heard, it makes quite a big difference in sound. Now, normally the exhaust valves will only open in sport mode. And let's just be honest, driving this car every day in sport mode is not the most comfortable. It's just way too fast and way too harsh of a ride. So if you're still wanting that loud, sporty exhaust note while cruising around in eco or comfort mode, this mod will allow you to do that. So without further ado, let me show you what you need to do, and it should really only take you about 5 to 10 minutes, or in my case, it might take you 2 hours. But hopefully by you watching this video, you will not make the same mistakes I did, and it will not take you 2 hours. So this is the wiring harness that would plug into the power module to give it the signal to open and close the valves. And this is the power module right here, and where I'm poking is where the wiring harness would plug into. I currently have a simulator plug covering that outlet to prevent water and corrosion and stuff from getting into it. And then this long black piece right here is another simulator plug on the wiring harness itself. Now there's 2 points to having these simulator plugs. One, it tricks the car into thinking that the system is working properly so that you don't get any type of error codes, check engine lights, nothing malfunctions. So it thinks that the car is functioning properly, right? And then additionally, it protects the outlets from water, corrosion, and other debris. You don't want these open electrical outlets just being exposed to the elements and water because they are up under your car. And as you can see, I have zip tied them up off to the corner of the vehicle to get them kind of out of the way. But this is just showing you guys an up close look at when you go to unplug these, what everything looks like. And if you are going to use these simulator plugs, how they go in to the outlets and on the wiring harness. Now, a quick note on the simulator plugs. These are actually for a GT Mustang, but they work perfectly for the Genesis G7. They fit the outlets perfectly, very snugly. They're easy to get on. They're easy to get off. I put a link to where you can purchase the plugs in the description below. It is on eBay. Very fast, really good seller. But again, these are for a Mustang, but they fit the G70 just as well. Now, just some quick tips when it comes to unplugging the wiring harness. And the number one thing you need to be aware of is that you need to unlatch, or you need to unhook both of the clamps that are on either side of the wiring harness in order to unplug it. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself like, well, duh, no, obviously, like you need to unhook the latches that are holding it in place for it to come out. You would think so, right? Well, the driver's side one, I only unhooked one of the latches and it unplugged, no problem. Literally took me like a minute. So for that reason, I didn't even realize that there was a second latch that had to be undone in order to plug it out. I thought there was just one on that one side, because I couldn't see it at the time. And now when I went to move on to the passenger side, we unhooked the one latch and it would, for the life of everything holy, would not come out. And so after about another hour and a half of twisting and pulling and jamming our hand up under there, we finally realized that, oh, there's a second latch that needs to be unhooked. But the problem with unhooking that second latch is that it is in the tightest and just most awkward angle, and it is almost near impossible to put your finger on it and undo the latch. And the problem with undoing that second latch is that because it is jammed up so close and tightly to like that metal power module piece, when you push the latch off, it pushes itself back on. So the only way we were able to get this off was by putting the car up on some ramps, and I jammed like my little pinky finger up there and pushed down on that latch with all my might, cramming it into that metal piece in order to hold the latch off the clamp. And then my friend had to pull at the same time, and that's the only way we were able to get this off. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that to you guys and something to be aware of, because this could potentially end up taking you 2 hours, an hour, what have you, to get the passenger side one off. Like I said, the driver side one, super easy to get off. Passenger side one, just might drive you crazy. So now I did want to include some bonus knowledge talking about exactly how the active exhaust works on this car. So in eco or comfort mode, the exhaust valves are going to stay closed pretty much all the time. Now I have noticed that when idling, sometimes the exhaust flaps will half open to allow more exhaust gases to escape. I guess it's something to do with some kind of regulation in the car. When you put the car in sport mode, the exhaust flaps still will remain closed while idling, which is different from Sport Plus. So the main difference between Sport and Sport Plus mode is that in Sport Plus, the valves stay open 24/7 all the time. They never close at all. So if you're wanting the constant loudest exhaust note while driving this car, you got to put it in Sport Plus. In Sport mode, like I said, the valves stay closed when you're stopped or idling, and they only open under certain throttle conditions. I noticed that when accelerating with Sport mode, if you're just doing like a very light accelerating, the valves will not open all the way. Versus in Sport Plus mode, like I said, they stay open all the time. And if, you know, whether you're idling or barely accelerating, barely giving it any throttle, you get that really nice, loud, deep exhaust tone while in Sport Plus. So by doing this exhaust valve delete mod, you're making it so your car's exhaust note forever stays in Sport Plus mode, if you will, because with the wiring harnesses not plugged in, there's no electrical signal to tell the valves to close when you're in Eco or Comfort, so therefore the valves and baffles stay fully open despite what drive mode you're in. And with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below. And also be sure and check out my other G70 mod videos as well. Link to the playlist on the right side, and link to the ambient lighting video on the left. Thanks for watching, and stay glass.